Hi, Tina and Mary Lou. Happy Monday to all of you, and welcome to my Stampin' Piece studio. I'm Mary Nabe. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, I'm in the Columbus, Ohio area, and I'm excited to share with you today's cards. We'll actually be making 3 cards using the stack and shuffle technique, and I'm going to feature a brand new suite called Beautiful Balloons. It's got a great stamp set and wonderful collection of dies, including balloons, hearts, there's confetti, not hearts, stars, and all kinds of fun things for birthdays and other celebrations. Before we get to that, reminder that April 30th is the last day to sign up for my 2023 In Color Club. All the information about that is on my blog, stampinpiece.com. And also, starting on May 1st, I'm trying something new. I'm going to have once a month, I haven't decided if it's a club or a class, but it's basically going to be a one-sheet wonder club. And each month I will give you the template for a one-sheet wonder. Looks like my signal stopped for a moment. That was a call coming in from another state. I know who it is, but obviously I can't answer now, so I'll have to get back to her. As I was saying, April 30th is the last day to register for my 2023 to 2025 In Color Club. Information is on stampinpiece.com. And also then starting something new, an In Color or a One Sheet Wonder Club. And I'll start that on May 1st. Look for information then. And basically you'll get a One Sheet Wonder template, as well as templates or card sketches for the cards we make using that One Sheet Wonder. Most of them will be 6x6 One Sheet Wonders, but I will be throwing in the occasional 12x12 One Sheet Wonder as the club progresses. And with that, you'll get a pack of DSP and either a ribbon or embellishment, plus the card bases and envelopes to make the cards included with that. So I'm excited to try something new. So look for that information on May 1st by email newsletter, as well as on my blog. I hope you had a great weekend. I had a pretty good weekend, mostly pretty productive. Getting ready for hosting Andrea's baby shower on Sunday. So now that basically everything's done, I'll deal with the food on Friday. But yeah, the big thing is I got to get this studio cleaned up, because this is where we're having it, down here with all the tables set up. So I've got a lot of work to do. Anyways, let's get started on today's cards using a version of the stack and shuffle technique, along with the Bright and, I think it's called Bright and Beautiful, yes, Designer Series paper. I'm going to flip my camera around now. While I do that, please share this live video and invite others to join us as well. Okay, I showed you the bundle, Beautiful Balloons. You can see there's confetti and tags, stars, balloons of all kinds, and then some great sentiments in here for celebrations. I'm going to be using these 3 sheets of DSP today, but I quickly wanted to show you the others that are in here. So we'll just kind of flip through these quickly so you can get an idea of what the paper is like. Lots of fun colors for celebrations. So that gives you a peek. It's in the new catalog, which debuts next week, a week from tomorrow, May 2nd. So I've already prepared my blueberry bushel card bases. I've got the white inserts. I'm using lemon lime twist to go with it. These are two colors that were formerly in colors, but have been brought back to be a part of our new color collection. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stack these sheets. I want them stacked nicely. I think I have them all. Yes. And I'm going to cut first at 3 3/4 inches. And you could vary the size of this if you want. You can do 4 by 5 1/4. I'm doing 3 3/4 by 5. You could even go a little smaller, 4 1/4 by 3. It can really be whatever you want it to be. This technique, the stack and shuffle technique, is one that you can easily change. All right, so there's my 3 pieces. I'm going to keep them stacked, and I'm going to cut them all at once. Now, with our Stampin' Up! Paper trimmer, it's really easy to cut all 3 at once. So basically what I'm going to do is with these 3 sheets, I'm going to cut the paper into 3 sections. However many sections you want, you may need that many different sheets of designer series paper. Different but coordinating, okay? So I'm going to have 3 sections, so I use 3 sheets. And I'm just going to make some random cuts like this. Now, if you like things to be very symmetrical and you feel the need to measure them out, you can. Maybe you'd go, down 1 inch and up 1 inch here and the opposite to get, you see what I'm saying, 3 equal sections. My words aren't coming to me for some reason. But I'm just going to do it kind of randomly, which is okay too. I think that kind of adds a little interest. Things don't always have to be even and symmetrical. It's okay to change things up a bit. I'll do it like this. All right, so now I have these 3 sections. So we've got the stack part of our technique, correct? Now it's time to do the shuffle part of our technique. So on the top, I've got 3 sections, right? So on the top, I'm going to shuffle just the top layer. Just, whoops, I need to bring this down, don't I? Just 1 layer. And then on the bottom one, I'm going to shuffle so that I move 2 layers. And then on the 3rd stack, I'm going to leave it as is. All right, leaving it as is there. I think I'm a little bit off here. Trying to stay in the screen. There we go. And now remember I started with sheets of DSP that were 5 by 3 3/4. I'm going to put all these together. I'm not going to leave any spaces between the pieces. So therefore I know if I want to make my cardstock just a slightly larger than this 5 by 3 3/4, I'm going to have these 5 1/8 by 3 7/8, 5 1/8 and 3 7/8. And I'm just going to start adhering all these pieces of DSP to my 3 pieces of lemon lime twist cardstock. Well, this guy doesn't want to come, does he? I know there's some in there. Let me try another one. There we go. For this part, I do like to use the multi-purpose glue because I can just set my pieces down, and then because I'm using liquid glue, I have the freedom to move them just a bit. So I'm going to kind of hustle here and get all 3 pieces down. And I know that the cardstock's just an 1/8 inch larger than I started, my DSP when I started. So I know it's going to be a very small border all the way around. And as you can see, I've been able to just slide these pieces ever so slightly to get them to fit nicely. And I'll repeat that process with the next 2 pieces of cardstock. Again, I'm just taking the top piece on each stack. And again, I'm just going to start looking at my edges, left and right, and top and bottom sides to get those even. And then slide the pieces into place if I need to adjust them just a little bit, like right there. Okay. And as you can see, I'm sure it makes perfect sense why I'm using the liquid glue, the multi-purpose glue for this step. I know some people, we all have our preferences on adhesives, but for certain things, certain techniques, I do have my favorite adhesive. So something like this where I'm trying to match up pieces, the liquid glue is the best option for me. All right, so now let's start putting our cards together, and then you'll also get to see some other parts of the bundle. Don't let me forget to show you my samples at the end because I'm using a different color scheme. On this set of cards than I did for my sample set. I'm going to show you this way. So here, if I pick, say, this top pattern, you can see top, middle, bottom, right? Top, middle, bottom, top, middle, bottom. So that's the shuffle part of all of this. Now let's show you another part. A couple of these I went ahead and made some fringes earlier just to save time, but I want to show you how to actually make these fringes. So in your die set, there's a piece like this. It does not cut the rectangle around. All it does is cut all these little grooves into a single piece of paper. So you could even have, let me grab something here. You could have a piece like this. Say this is going to be your card front, and you just want some fringe at the bottom or the side. You would just put it there, and all it would do was cut all the little fringes. It would not cut off a strip, okay? So on here, I've cut a strip the same width as this die. And I'm just, whoops. I use my washi tape just to make sure that stays in place. I didn't need it quite as long as the die, so it's a little bit shorter in length, but the width is the same. Just want to make sure that doesn't move on me. And I just send it through my fun little boho machine, boho blue. And this is what I have now. Okay. So then I take this, and all I have to do is cut this in half. I can cut a straight line. I can cut kind of a curvy line if I want. It can be anything you want it to be. Actually, let's try a curvy line, because these I all cut straight. I just stuck them into my paper trimmer and cut them down the middle, or pretty close to the middle. It looks like I was estimating on some of those, but that's all right. So on this one, let's just try something different and just make some curves in it. It cuts very easily. I'm just going kind of slowly so I don't mess up what my vision is here. And you can see as I'm cutting, some of these fringes kind of separate, loosen up from each other. So now I have these curvy fringes. All right, just something a little bit different, okay? Now when you start out cutting these strips, you want to cut them at an angle. Oops, I shouldn't have put that on just yet, but that's all right. Cut them at an angle. I'm gonna have to lift these off. Got ahead of myself. Does that ever happen to you? You get ahead of yourself? And I'm just gonna put a narrow strip of glue, very narrow strip, because I only want the glue at the very top of my fringes. I don't want it all over the fringes, because that way it'll give me more dimension if I'm not securing all those little fringes completely flat. And let's see, I think I'll go like this. Press that down, and I'm just covering up, just lightly covering up the seams where the two pieces of DSP come together, okay? And I'm gonna let that dry a moment while I do the others. And again, do as I say, not as I do. Don't put your layers on your card front just yet, like I did. Use some more of your multi-purpose glue, apply a thin line. Got some fringes a little wider. These, I believe I cut these strips just like at 1 inch, just because I wanted to see the difference. They are a little wider. The width of that die, that fringe die, is actually 7/8 of an inch. So you can cut it that way. You all know about the silicone mat. That is kind of like an adhesive grabber. It's so that you don't get adhesive on your workspace. or anywhere you don't want it, but it will, if you go off your paper with the adhesive, it'll go right onto the mat, and then it cleans up super easy. Like, you won't even believe how easy it cleans up. Even like this multi-purpose glue, if you get some of that liquid glue on there, you just let it dry and it literally rubs off. And because of my jumping ahead a step, you saw that I do have adhesive on the back of these layers, and they pull right off, and you don't even have any on there. So great, great little investment to have. I'm going to go back to the first one, and I'm going to flip it over and take my paper snips and carefully just cut off the ends that are sticking out. I'm going to put just a little more glue or adhesive on here just in case, since I pulled these off. And I'll repeat those steps with the other two pieces. I think it still had enough adhesive on, but just want to be sure. And one more. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and put the whites on the inside of my card bases. You always want to, well, do you see what I did there? For heaven's sakes, Mary. I glued it backwards. I had the fold on the right. Did anybody catch that? Maybe not, because it was laying flat. And by the way, at the beginning, before we started the demonstration, I said that I would be introducing, on May 1st, introducing a One Sheet Wonder card club. I will be using this suite for that first month of the One Sheet Wonder card club. It just was super fun. I thought, I'm going for that. And of course, each month would be something different. All right, so there we go. Now it's time to add a little, and there's my curvy ones. Now it's time to dress it up a little bit. And I'm going to make these all happy birthday cards. And I'm going to stamp a balloon with Blueberry Bushel. Trying to keep all these names of the different colors together. Gosh, Deborah, are you having the same kind of day? You know, the sun came out this morning. It's cold here after several warm days. It's very cold in Ohio today, like low 40s. And it's windy and it's raining. But the sun came out. So I thought, okay, Mary, get out there, do a walk. Well, I do kind of a walk jog. Of course, it's started sprinkling just a bit after I got done with the first mile. And I thought, I'm not quitting. I'm not quitting. I want to do 4.5 miles today. Well, I made it to 3.98 before the rain really started coming, and it got very dark. It was cold, like icy cold. So yes, taking a hot shower afterwards and all that. But I was so tired then. And I think it was just that cold and that wind. Now, I'm going to show you something with these, with this particular ballooned stamp. And you know what? This is photopolymer, so I'm going to put my table mat is pretty good for the photopolymer, but I'm going to go ahead and use my Stampin' Pierce mat. If you're working with photopolymer stamps, you'll get a much better image if you have, if you work on top of a Stampin' Pierce mat, okay, or an old mouse pad, something with a little cushion to it. The foam mat, if you have a Stamparatus, that sort of thing. Now, okay, I stamped that, but I'm going to stamp again. So I stamped and stamped off. So either one of these would look fabulous as the balloon decoration for my card, but this is what I actually want to do. I'm actually going to use one balloon and I'm going to stamp off in the blueberry bushel color, but then I'm going to stamp Happy Birthday with full strength ink, same color ink right on top. Again, you know, whatever you want it to be. But I wanted to show you a comparison and then one alternate way to make your balloons. I think I can get two on here. And then I'm going to, again, stamp my sentiment right on top of that stamped off balloon. Or you could do a very light color. I could have stamped the balloon in Lemon Lime Twist and then stamped the blueberry bushel sentiment on top of it. All kinds of ways to change things up, okay? All kinds of ways to design and make it your own. You can copy me exactly, but never, ever, ever feel pressure. I am not offended if you go off on your own and just put your own little twist on the cards that you make from my inspiration cards, we'll call them. All right, so now let's cut these out with our large balloon die. There is a little string stamp in here, balloon string. I'm not going to use that. I'm going to do something else. But let me just go ahead and cut these out first. All of the dies in the Beautiful Balloons die collection do fit in the small machine, the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. Come on. There we go. I'll save that bold blue balloon for something else, another project at another time. How many of you have your new catalog by now? I'm going to flip my cutting plate over. When your cutting plate starts to bow, kind of lift up in the center, if you can push down on it all, that means you need to flip it. And whatever plate I use on the bottom, I try to keep that as always being my bottom cutting plate and the other one always being my top cutting plate. That also helps extend the life of your cutting plates, doing those two things. Alrighty then. So now I'm going to use some white baker's twine. On the very end of this balloon, the bottom, I'm going to put a glue dot. Then I'm just going to, I'm doing it the easy way. I'm not wrapping my baker's twine around that little bottom part of the balloon. I'm just going to let that hang. Whoops. And then lastly, I'm just going to tie some tiny little bows with this. If tying these tiny bows isn't your thing, maybe just do a knot. Or you can even put your string, adhere it to the back side of your balloon if you don't want that sticking up on the front. On my sample cards, I actually put my glue dot on the back with the string hanging from the back and then put my bows on top at the front. But I thought this time around, I want to see what it looks like if I put both parts on the front. And you'll have enough of that glue dot still sticky there to put your bow on top. So now it looks like I almost like I tied that around that bottom part of the balloon. Same thing, I'm going to adhere this right to that little glue dot. Trim off this little bit maybe without cutting the bow. See if I can do that. So using this big balloon for the happy birthday is kind of fun. So that balloon that would be the focal point anyways of the card now incorporates the sentiment with it. There. And I want you to see too in the set, it's called Beautiful Balloons. It's not called Birthday Balloons. So anytime you need a card for a celebration, or you want to make a gift bag or a gift tag for a celebration, this stamp set, this bundle, and the DSP would do the trick for you. And then finally, oops, I'll add these balloons to my card fronts. Just like, oh, I could put it right in the middle. I'll put it right in the middle. On my samples, I had the balloons off to the side a little bit. But I think either way works nicely. It's time to snip those edges. Don't waste those edges of your dimensional sheets. Okay, now I am going to trim off these ends. Just going to take them to the bottom of the card. Oh, that one's pretty good. Right there, actually. And there's my finished card. Now, I suppose we could add a little bling. Let's see here what I have left in my bling stash, my bling basket, I'll call it. Oh, those are kind of fun. Those are a little too dark. Maybe I was looking for... I was actually thinking the iridescent rhinestones. Oh, the classic MAC dots. Those are all in white, though, that I have left. So what do you think? Iridescent rhinestones, iridescent pearls, or the pastel adhesive back sequins? Anybody have a preference? Kathy, thank you. I'm glad you like the cards. You know, Tony, you pointed out what I think is the best feature of this entire suite is the bright, cheerful colors. The bright, cheerful colors, okay? The first couple people said number 3, the pastel sequins. And I'm thinking, should I use the blue? I'm going to use these blue-green ones. And we have 2 sizes here. I'm getting out my take your pick tool. If you've been thinking about purchasing a take your pick tool, the price is going up. Just to warn you, the price is going up with the new catalog. No pressure, but I just don't want somebody coming at me later saying, if only you had told me. No, no, no. Don't want that. And let's see. Trying to put these sequins where they'll really, I think they'll really stand out. So I think on these wide stripes, that seems to be the best option. Could work on the star section too, but I'll stick to my original plan. All right, kind of looks like confetti on there. All right, so there is today's version of the Stack and Shuffle, right? Stack and Shuffle means simply that we stack a number of designer series papers, whatever number of sections you want to cut, that's the same number of sheets of DSP you should have, different pieces of coordinating DSP you should have, okay? So I did 3 sheets because I was cutting into 3 sections. And of course, you could do straight stripes across. You could cut these any different way. But here's my fun version showing you how to use the fringe die. By the way, do you have the Taco Fiesta stamp set? Wouldn't this fringe be perfect to use with the Taco Fiesta stamp set? I love it. Beautiful balloons, Kathy, beautiful balloons. And it is in the new annual catalog, which debuts a week from tomorrow on May 2nd. All right. And now, I don't know if you all have noticed, we had a few in the last mini catalog, but Stampin' Up! Is now naming the stamp set and the coordinating dies the same. I love it. Half the names for me to remember. Love that they're doing that for us. That's something we've been asking for a while, so I'm so happy, as are many other people. All right, and I said I would show you another version of the same cards using all the same supplies except different colors. Kind of want to, let me put them in an order. So we got top, middle, bottom. So here's the same version of the card. Oh, it could use some bling though. Didn't realize I didn't put any bling on there. Oh, we might as well use the pink bling on here, don't you think? So this second set of cards, my sample set, uses Berry Burst, which is one of those returning colors. The new Lemon Lolly, this light pastel yellow. And then if you can see the lighter pink here, that's Bubble Bath. I always have to stop on that one. I either want to call it Bubble Gum or Bubble Bath, and then I have to think, which is it? It's Bubble Bath. All right, let's add some bling here. I really haven't been, haven't used many of these peak sequins, so this is perfect. And let's see, I feel like they're going to get lost on the dots. Let's do this one. You can also see on my sample cards that I have that balloon more off to the left half of the card. So there's another way you can get a little variety. You could do layers of balloons as well. Let's see here. I'll just go here. Oh, I love this take your pick tool. I don't know, I just have fun using it. One of my, what I consider a staple in my class, in my craft room. If I would lose that or whatever, I would absolutely replace that in a heartbeat. I think I use it just about every time I am creating. All right, what do you think? Blue for boys, pink for girls. Yes, if you're very traditional, but yes, I really like the just all the different bright, fun, festive colors, cheerful colors that are in this collection. All right, I'm going to give away 3 cards. And if you would like to have your name entered into the drawing to receive one of the cards, please type in the comments now, beautiful balloons, beautiful balloons. Oh, Tony, okay. You prefer the blue, so just be sure to send you a blue one. I gotcha. So much fun. And please don't get all excited about the beautiful balloon suite and forget the technique. We did the stack and shuffle technique. All right. Gosh, I really love this. You know what this curvy fringe reminds me of? Is anybody a school teacher? Is anybody an elementary school teacher or preschool teacher? Did you ever go and buy of course, now they don't really do bulletin boards like we did back in the day, decades ago, but you could either make or purchase bulletin board borders, and it seemed like they were always like this. They were corrugated and had that curve to them. That's what it reminds me of. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me on this Monday, April 24th. I'm going to be doing a Zoom online class for those people who signed up for my Enjoy the Adventure Memories and More cards online class. Got that at 7, so I'm going to return a phone call and have a quick dinner and then jump back on to see those people. So it's a fun way to end my workday. I will be back with another Facebook Live right here at Stampin' Peace with Mary Nabe on 8 p.m. on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Time this Wednesday, April 26th. I'm just going to give you a heads up and tell you right now while I'm thinking of it, there will not be a Friday Facebook Live this week. Since we'll be getting ready for Andrea's bridal shower. My sister's coming over on Friday afternoon, and we're going to be working on the food for the bridal, or I keep saying bridal shower. That was so last year. It's baby shower this year, baby shower. So yeah, we're excited to celebrate Andrea and John and get out some surprises and fun things for their new baby coming in early July. All right, have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your Monday, and I hope to see you right back here with me on Wednesday. Bye-bye.